I don't think women should work. I'm sorry. Don't look at me like that. I don't think women should work. Why?
They should even fine. If they're not working, they should somehow have their own means of income. So if they're not working, then can they at least then be deriving a salary on a monthly basis for the work they're actually doing, which would be in this case taking care of the house and taking care of the children.
I would deal with that.
They
That's
should
fine.
still have their own money.
That's fine. But my problem is what? Well, this is my problem with working. If you see society where women work, there's no marriages.
The girlies are tired. The girlies are tired of being our Miss Independent.
What?
And then they're going to come for me and say, who said right? Personally, yeah, no.
What do you mean?
It's just, we have bills, ne? We have bills, but ish.
You're tired of what exactly?
It's tough. We're tired of having to work for a living. Working for a living, working for the man. It's one thing working for your own stuff. You've got your own business. You've got your own stuff going on. Having to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is that you're waking up.
But isn't
to
that what
go
you
into
fought
a
for?
place or to switch on your laptop.
Isn't that what you fought for? You said
It's tough. No, it's fine.
you want to be independent. I'm Miss Independent.
Not like that. Not
you
like
hear all
that.
these ladies saying, I'm independent. I got my own house. I got my own car.
Definitely.
Americans will say, I got my own condo. I got my own car.
Definitely.
No, I don't believe you.
Look, don't get me wrong, right? I 110% believe that a woman should have her own money.
Okay.
110, you heard that, ne?
Yeah.
110. But the way that the workplace has been set up now,
Yeah. But you
not
wanted
for
to be
us.
free. You wanted to be free so no man can tell you what to do. Right?
Did you hear the part where I said a woman must make her own money?
Yeah, you must make your own money, then you shouldn't be tired. You should continue doing
but
that.
the two can exist. I can be tired, but still believe in somehow, some way. All I mean is traditional work. You're going into a place, 9 o'clock, there you are, your laptop is on, you are entering meetings, in, out, you're fighting. Give kind regards. I hope this finds you well. We are tired.
But then at the end of the month, you have a big salary, you have a nice BMW, you have a nice apartment.
Why is BMW always catching strays?
Because black people just love BMW. It's crazy. Why do black people love BMW? Crazy stuff. I mean, in countries like Kenya or maybe South Africa, as soon as you see a woman, if she's not driving a BMW, well, yeah, that's what you wanted. You don't want to be controlled by men. Isn't that what you said? You don't want to be controlled by men. You want to call your own shot.
I repeat,
Yeah.
you must make your own money.
Yes.
As backup.
Then you must
But it
work.
would be nice to not have to.
Who's going to
So
pay
like
the bill then?
the men.
Oh, are we hearing you say that you
The
are
man.
giving up on the masculinity? Let's call it what
We
it
never
is.
wanted it.
You actually want to be wives.
Never wanted that masculinity in the first place. Okay. So let me paint a picture of what would be ideal.
Yeah.
Right? Not having to wake up in the morning to switch on your laptop to be online by 9 or 8 or to sit in traffic and go sit in an office, whatever. But to be able to wake up and decide for yourself, okay, I'm going to go to Pilates at 10. Shout out to my Pilates girls. Wake up
See,
at
rich
10.
people problems. Pilates.
To wake up, go to Pilates at 10, come back, go out, check on your little nail shop, go fetch the kids, make some...
So,
like...
my fellow Americans and
Yo.
Caribbeans, in Africa, in most other developing countries in Africa, women have developed this. I want to go to Pilates because in most cases, Pilates have been for the longest time like a sport of the higher class. Usually white ladies will go to Pilates, and a lot of black women now want to go to Pilates. It's like I do Pilates.
Anyway, Yeah, the gist of it is not having to wake up to go into traditional work,
Yeah.
but having something of your own, some sort of a business, some sort of income generating vehicle that still allows you to get an income,
So yeah,
but
because
not in the traditional sense of working for someone.
so what you're saying
So
is
being in a situation where you are financially flexible enough that your man's got the bills,
okay. So you basically want to be wives.
but
Yeah.
you're also still making your own as backup.
I'm very confused now.
So like a little franchise here. I remember I'm speaking in the ideal world. Please don't come for me, and I don't like problems. In the ideal world, you've got a little McDonald's franchise here. You've got a little nail salon there. You've got, you're doing your own little thing there, but it's not income that your household needs desperately to survive. So you've got your own little thing going on, your own money coming,
So
but the household doesn't actually need it.
Your
Or even
household
better,
doesn't
you've
need
got
money.
a coffee shop that's running one every year. Got a loss. Your husband keeps pumping money into it. Loss. The gist of it is it doesn't have to.
she need a McDonald's aside, but the McDonald's
It's an example.
money shouldn't be something the household need.
Yeah.
In the meantime, she don't want to work.
We're tired.
What does that mean?
We're tired.
You need a rich husband.
We're tired. Our
basically
hormones
need a
weren't
rich
set up for it. Our hormones were not set up for it. The constant stress of having to wake up. You're gonna go fight with people in your emails.
I agree. Women are not created for work.
No.
I'm sorry. I don't believe women should be working. I'm sorry.
I'm glad we agree.
No. I don't believe women should be working.
Okay, but like
I believe
not
women-
like that. Not
I
like
believe
that.
women should be in a kitchen doing
Not
some
like
very
that.
good work for the family. Women should be able to be cooking very nice food, taking care of husbands, making sure the husband is good mentally, physically, in all areas of life, making sure the kids are good. I believe that. Then you need to,
Yeah.
that's basically you saying you want to be a traditional woman.
Hmm.
Okay, you see, you want to be a traditional, but no, I don't want it. But I just want the benefit of a
think-
man who's got money, who's going to open a franchise for me because the money won't come from her. A franchise for me, so I can make money. The house doesn't need my money, so it's basically my money.
A girl can dream. We're just girls. A girl can dream. I think what I'm really getting down to is corporate is tough.
Yeah,
Corporate is tough, and it's tough on women that you're like literally sitting with 4 different versions of yourself in a month.
Yeah.
On average, you've got 4 weeks. That's like the toughest you, the you that's on top of the world, a you that's kind of starting to feel tired, and a you that's just like, can the whole world just leave me alone?
yeah.
But you are expected to deal with the same amount of stress week in, week out, the entire cycle. Come again next month, do the same thing. It's a lot.
Isn't that the reason we're seeing a lot of failed marriages among Black people, especially?
Why do you say that?
Because it feels like when a woman has to work so hard every single day, having to face men in a corporate world,
Yeah.
they have to bring out a masculine version of themselves.
Of course.
And with time, you start mixing the two. Because initially you want to be the masculine woman at work and trying to be feminine at home. But as time goes, the more you do it regularly, more and more, there's more masculinity that sits beyond
I think
femininity.
there's some truth to that, but I think there's also an aspect of having to be masculine in the workplace. When you get home, you just want to relax.
Well,
And the man, like in the typical setup, the man can get home and finally just and relax.
That's not possible.
But the woman kind of needs to take on a second job in that setup.
That's not possible because I feel like we live in a generation where women say to men, "Oh, I can't make that food right now. You can go to the fridge and get the food yourself." Okay, please, can you do the dishes? I'm very, very tired.
But there are two people.
When the man says,
There are two
maybe, but
people.
what did she say? What does she say? But I also worked, right? I
Yeah, but
also
if
worked.
two people woke up in the morning, two people were in a stressful environment the whole day, and two people come back tired.
Yeah.
Why is now only one person suddenly?
Then why did you go work? Because
What do you mean? Why did you go
because
work?
I
Because
feel like,
bills need to be
well, you
paid.
need to find a way to make the bills paid by the husband like it used to be. Look, let me tell you something, okay? Only recently women started working, okay? There are many countries in Africa, many countries in Central Africa especially, where women have just started working because men handled the financial things, burden, literally. Like my mom never really had to work. My father could do everything for us, but she was one of the pioneer of business ship among women. Little wherever she comes from. So many wives that I've seen, okay, my friends, mothers and stuff, they never worked. They never worked. It was oh, she's the wife of the doctor. Oh, she's the wife of the pharmacist. Oh, that's what it was. And that's what we had learned. I even remember one of my sisters didn't want to go to university. She didn't want to go to university. By the time she reached 18, she said, I'm done. I'm waiting for my man.
Damn.
She had a boyfriend and
Can't disagree with that.
she was waiting for a boyfriend, and my father wanted her to go to university. So basically, my sister said no, she doesn't want to go to college or university, whether you prefer. And my father was devastated. Like, why? Why? Now there was this guy that was dating my sister, and at the time she wanted to come and visit him at home, and my parent didn't want it because back in time you couldn't take your boyfriend. I don't know what happens today, but back you can't take your boyfriend to your parents. Not in Africa, not in Black people Africa. So my father was devastated because he was like, why? Why doesn't she want to go to university? My other children are all, have owned. It was really, really hurt. And eventually my brother spoke to this guy, and he spoke to my sister saying, listen, I think it's good that you come with us, come and study with us. Because my parents asked her, why don't you want to say, I don't want to go, I want to be married.
At 18?
Yes. She said, I don't want to be married. She was turning 19. I want to be married. Because back in time, people got married early and they didn't have to work as females. It was, let me just get my secondary school and let's get married. Now, the guy encouraged my sister to go to varsity. She did. My father loved him very much. I said, no, you can come. Call him. He can come home. Come visit. Obviously. And that's how it was. Now, this guy obviously was the only boyfriend my sister knew. That's her husband today. They have many, many children, like 5 or something. And I know things have changed today, but why did you choose to start working? That's one of the main questions we ask.
I mean, in which world are you living in? You kind of have to work if you want to survive. Like,
why
we
don't
don't
you get
live in a
married?
world where, come on.
Get married,
Look, I
find a
think
good man who's serious, who understands the
they're not
responsibility.
there. They're not there. Not at 18.
They're
Look,
not there anymore.
I think
So you're telling me
you
in South
touched
Africa,
on pause
in South
before you
Africa,
get
there
to
are
the
men
South
who-
Africa. I think one important point that you touched on was, you see, that I think, in my personal opinion, is something that's dangerous for women. The mom's generation that you're talking about, where most of them didn't work, they were fully reliant on their husbands,
Yeah.
which created a very, in my opinion, don't come for me, very unhealthy dynamic.
Why?
Because you are fully financially reliant on this person.
Okay.
You've got absolutely nothing, from doing your hair to having food to eat to, can I just buy chappies here, chappies?
But they looked happier.
You don't know that.
Well, you don't know whether they were not happy.
No, you don't know that.
No.
But whether she was happy or not, she
Yeah.
kind of had to stay because there was no financial backing elsewhere to allow her even just to think, or
So-
you know what, this is not working for me, whatever. Like, That's all she
You
had.
know that what that took away? It took away the ability of changing men after another one, after another one, after another one,
That
after
could be a
another one.
conversation,
Okay.
but in
No,
all
that's the
fairness,
conversation.
even with that, we are paying our own ways in life. We are taking care of ourselves as we should, but we are managing our own selves. It's not like if that were any different, then it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, I believe there should be order. There shouldn't be democracy in certain things. I think it's a certain situation, they should choose for people. Just like you choose for a child, a man should choose for the child what religion they're going to follow. A man should choose for a child the way they think about life. That's what it is. You don't let your child go and wonder and discover and ask himself if he's a boy or a girl. You don't do that, not in this society. I feel, my personal feeling, okay, is allowing women to work has created more problems than
Allowing, is that the
allowing-
word
Yes,
that you
allowing-
want to use?
Yes, because women fought for work. What do you think? Women fought to be working.
Allowing.
Yes, women had problems. I mean, back in time they couldn't vote. Back in time they couldn't work. Okay, they marched. The suffragettes went down the street fighting for freedom, for equality. They wanted to vote. They wanted the rights
So
to
you're
work.
saying they shouldn't have?
I don't think women should work because I think when women work, there's a lot of problems.
I think it would be nice for women to not have to work because the workplace isn't set up for women.
I don't think women should work. I'm sorry. Don't look at me like that. I don't think women should work. Why?
They should even fine if they're not working, they should somehow have their own means of income. So if they're not working, then can they at least then be deriving a salary on a monthly basis for the work they're actually doing, which would be in this case taking care of the house and taking care of the children.
That, I would deal with that.
They
That's
should
fine.
still have their own money.
That's fine. But my problem is what? Well, this is my problem with working. If you see society where women work, there's no marriages. Okay? Because as soon as women start working, what happens? And don't get upset. Listen, hear me out. As soon as women start working, they start hopping from one man to the next man.
But
to
they're
the
not
next man,
hopping
to the
because
next
they're
man.
working.
And
Like there's other things.
and it creates imbalance. What imbalance does
But
it
it's
create?
not because they're
It
working.
creates trauma, it creates problems, it creates society that are filled of single mothers, and it creates children who have no fathers.
But you can't attribute that to the fact that they're working.
No, but it's because they're working. How much? Show me places where women don't work, where you see so many single mothers. You don't see them. The single motherhood is usually where women are free to do their own things.
I think women should be free to do their own things.
Yeah, women should be free to do their own things, but just not
They
to work.
shouldn't. They shouldn't find themselves stuck in something that doesn't work for them because, oops, if I do this, what are my children going to eat? How
Okay.
am I going to survive?
Let me put it
Definitely
this way. Let me
against
put it
that.
this way for you. Who are the people that ask for divorce the most?
Women.
Women ask for divorce the most.
But
Do-
who
no,
does?
just allow me, just allow me. Please allow me to finish.
Hold on.
Can I
Which
land?
gender?
No, can I land?
No, you can't land.
I'll give you an opportunity.
You can't land.
Do you know there are more divorces among women and women relationship than there are between men and women?
Okay, not the conversation of today.
No. It is a conversation today. That shows you that women don't even understand other women.
Okay, fine, whatever. Not the conversation of today.
Women and women have issue with each other. So I feel, I'm going to allow you to speak now. I personally feel allowing women to work was a good thing. But the consequences of it, in many instances, other women will say to you, you don't need them. You can do by yourself. Look, my mom did the same. I can just do fine by myself.
Unfortunately.
And exactly, that is exactly the problem we're seeing today. Society with men who have not had fathers. Now, when a man grows up with no father around, what happens?
But we're going very off topic.
That is fun. He will start copying the most prominent male of the neighborhood. Okay, now if this man doesn't have good values, he will try to be like that man, that's uncle in the neighborhood. And that is why when a man did not see how his father treat a woman good, his mother, he doesn't know how to give that to you. You see the cycle? Because the father was absent, brought up by a single mother. In most cases, and I'm not saying everybody, in most cases you find men who they don't know how to treat women right. Because he never witnessed it. Do you understand? I feel like sometimes, just like you said to, and I'm not comparing women to children. Sometimes a child has to go to your church or your religion. Women should have been restricted at some point to make decisions based on money. And I'm not saying they shouldn't work. I'm saying
I think you need to clarify
work
that.
has enabled many women to be promiscuous. I'm sorry. Enabled many women to take decisions that they regret later. I'm sorry.
Just because they have a job?
Men don't make decisions, rarely make decisions based on emotions. Women do all the time. You see? When a man is angry at you, he doesn't say, I'm leaving this woman because I'm angry at him. I'm leaving this woman because she's not making me feel the way I want to feel. I'm leaving this woman because I didn't get the feeling I'm supposed to get in the bedroom. Women do that all the time. Now, because she's got an opportunity, I'm almost finished.
Okay.
And because she can do it with the finances, it becomes easy. Okay, bye-bye, next.
Did
Okay.
you want her to rather sit and suffer?
No, not suffering. Sit and find a solution.
Do you think anybody gets into a marriage and at the first sight of issue, they try and explore all the many different avenues that are available for them to try and sort whatever the issue is
they do
out?
that anymore.
And if I take you back to what you mentioned earlier on about women being the ones to initiate most of the divorces or a large number of the divorces, the marriages are set
70%
out.
of divorces are initiated by women.
The marriages are set out to be in favor of the man and to fully satisfy the man, whereas the women have to kind of sort of compromise a lot more and put themselves aside a
What do you
lot
mean?
more and. That's not something that a man has to consider. Like
what do you
just
mean?
earlier on, we were talking about how they both go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
They come back, both of them are tired.
Yes.
But somehow the woman still needs to continue.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Whilst the man can chill.
All right.
He's
Can I-
tired.
can I
He
ask you a
went
question?
to work.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, if you and
Instead of it being a partnership, we both had to.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? Okay. If you were with your man, right?
Yeah.
You were with your man and you know, parking somewhere, and for whatever reason you live in a country that is problematic and you get harassed by somebody, would you expect your man to react and protect you?
But are you
Can you-
really
no, ju-
going
just
to
answer- just
bring
answer my question.
that as a
Can
counter?
can you just answer my question,
like,
please?
come on,
Please answer my
really?
question.
Of
So-
course, yes, there's
Okay.
expectations. I'm not saying.
You expect
All
the-
I'm talking
No, it's
about
fine.
is
You
let there
answered-
be partnership. If we're both tired,
Can I finish?
and then now what you're gonna say?
No,
if,
you spoke.
if they say, "Hey, we need to go and fight. It's
Okay.
time for war," are the women going? Like, come on.
If you
Are you
had
going
a
to give
tire
birth?
burst, would you expect your man?
Are you going to give
find
birth?
a
No, I'm going to
solution
call
it?
AA or call whatever
Okay.
insurance.
Now, if you don't live in a country where there's AA, or not everybody has that. If you live in a country where there's no AA is insurance company, I believe, and you lost somewhere in the bush, and AA cannot come for the next 2 hours, would you expect your
yeah,
man to do something?
obviously, like the
Okay.
first person to call is your man.
Sure. Would you say that your man should not do it because he also went to work like you? He's tired. He shouldn't
But
protect you.
you're talking about
Just give me
talking
an
about
answer. Give
something
me an answer.
here that has nothing to do with
No,
something
it's exactly
there.
the thing. That's the problem with women. The man will stand his ground for you even when he's tired, even when he's strengthless.
I'll cook even when I'm
Even when
tired.
he's sick, he will stand and fight for his woman. Okay.
All I'm
No
saying
excuses.
is
a man will do everything.
you're such a bully.
No, you trying to bully me,
You're
and I'm
such
not
a
accepting
bully.
the bullying. A man will do
But
anything.
you're giving
to protect
examples
you.
that have
But
nothing
when
to
he
do with
wants you to
nothing.
make some food for him, you say go cook because I'm also went to work.
No, no one said
So,
that.
so what's
I
the use
believe
of
in
getting married to a
partnership.
woman? What's the use of getting
How?
married to a
I
woman?
didn't know. If that's all
Yes.
a woman is useful for, then go buy yourself a chef.
No,
If it's just about cooking, go buy yourself a chef.
okay,
Because you
then-
don't need us.
Then you shouldn't be tired of working. You must continue working. Don't be tired.
It's tough.
Yes,
The
continue
girlies are
working.
tired.
Look,
That one, unfortunately. Can I please go be a half traditional, half modern woman on that one? Because, wow, no, we are tired.
Yes. I believe being in a relationship or marriage, it takes responsibility and giving out. You must give out of yourself to receive that whatever you need, that safety net, that calmness, that security. You can't just say, okay, I'm actually just need a man so he can do for me. I just need a man so he can make sure my car is looked after appropriately. I just need a man for my security. But no, me, I'm tired. Also, I worked. I can't get the food off the fridge. Oh
But
no,
did you
I'm
hear
also
the part where when I was describing what would be an ideal sort of working setup from my perspective, it still involved coming back and looking after the kids, coming back from gym, whatever, and still going in and cooking dinner, cooking lunch, whatever. So it's taking away the stress of corporate and picking up some of the more traditional feminine roles that you now want to speak on. It's not like I'm speaking on something saying I want to get rid of this, and it's all stuff that I'm now just picking up in my favor. If I am home, I am more calm. I'm not constantly stressed out. I'm a happier person. My kids get a better, happier, calmer version of myself. You get to have home-cooked meals. It's not going to be more of, there's going to be less of coming back home, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so drained, I don't want to see anyone, do you get what I mean?
I get that.
It's literally better for everyone.
Okay, so what you're saying here is you understand that it is actually better that a woman stays home and assume feminine endeavors.
Whilst having her own something going on. So I want us out of, or would prefer to be out of, regular corporate. Look, if you want to be a corporate baddie, you want to climb the corporate ladder, that's a different story. Please, count me out of that stress. I'd rather have different types of stress. Okay. But the traditional stuff.
And this is a lady that earns a lot of money. Right?
Do I earn a lot of money?
It's very interesting. It's very interesting because you're not the only person I've heard recently say that they're tired of corporate.
Yo,
a lot of women say they are tired. They actually want to just be, some don't say housewife, but that's what it means basically.
Yo, we are so ready.
Okay. But being an housewife also means you have responsibilities. You have to understand that you need to stand on your feminine side more than your masculine side. Because the masculine side is not for women. I'm sorry. And I know earlier I said things. The masculine side is not for women. The more you work, the more masculine you have to become. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say women shouldn't work. I think they should let's find something that works for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, let's find something that works for everybody. This, I'm working, I have my own job, my own car, is not working at the end day. Because the end of the game is people are ending up making children, fathers are not present because somebody's too strong, or maybe men have adjusted to the reality of women changing them, so they also change. And let me get back to my sister. I believe that back in time when people expected their men to actually do things, they did those things. Okay? Because when you praise a man into doing something, he does even more. That works much better than trying to pin him down, making him look like he's not good for nothing. When you tell a man you're a hero, I like it when you do things like this. I feel proud of you. He does more of those things, and I think it's worked. And what I was trying to say earlier is the more you expect your men to do manly things, the more they do those things, the more women have said, okay, we need our freedom. And also, please I don't believe that women that depended entirely on their husband for money and stuff were all unhappy.
No, but it created a very unhealthy dynamic.
Okay, so
she had to stay there, even if it got bad, even if there was some more other form of abuse, be it emotional, physical, financial, whatever. She had to stay there. She didn't really have options.
What makes you think
she had to be extremely brave to step out of that with nothing?
What makes you think that every marriage was toxic? Because the
husband obviously we're speaking about in a situation where a woman needed to now leave. She couldn't because of that.
Why do you think about leaving? You're getting into a marriage thinking about leaving?
Oh, but we're giving the extreme.
But you took vows saying we're going to fight.
But we're giving the extreme end. We're giving in the case where it's not good. It's not something that somebody can live with. Then the stuff that I just described.
So why is that different from women today that like men that have a lot of money? Because let me put it this way: when a man doesn't have made much money, it's average money or below, it's very easy to leave him. Okay, it's much harder to leave a man who's got millions, okay, than it is to leave a man who's got nothing or maybe just next to you. It's a very similar situation from those women that we mentioned earlier. That you say that many of them were suffering but had to stay because they didn't have. Today, because people lack things, when they happen to marry somebody who's got a lot of money, even when they suffer, they still stay. So it doesn't change, might make a lot of
At
changes.
some point, you reach a ceiling, though.
Well,
It can't be for forever.
So are you
if it's really so bad, that person really could be staying, trying to put themselves together and come up with a plan, or okay, sharp, we are leaving, and then what next? But it's not necessarily forever and ever and ever and ever just because there's money.
okay, but I don't also think that the ladies that stayed, in their marriage when the men worked by themselves and they didn't work, all stayed when they were in very difficult situation. Even though divorce was not prominent, there still were people that divorced because they were not happy. Okay, so I think
Yeah, but
money,
what's that compared to today?
I think access to money has created much more damage today than the damage that was before. The damage before.
That's because women now can't be stifled by the fact that the man is the only one that's
Yeah,
working.
but that's created another problem.
Whereas the women of yesterday, of our past, Shemai,
But
they had to just
sure.
be Begazelling queens.
And now this has created a brand new problem, which is women working, making money, making 2, 3, 4 babies from different fathers, and saying, "Well, marriage is not
Topic for next week.
okay. Marriage is not it's not all that. Stop idolizing marriage." Of course, you have 4 children for 4 different fathers. Of course, you're gonna speak like that. I've never seen a woman who's married, happily married, with a man who treats her good, say that marriage is not an achievement. I've never seen that. Marriage truly is an achievement. Having a wife or a husband and having children that you send to school, that you educate into becoming decent citizens, it's a great achievement. Do you understand? Now the problem is we're finding ourselves now in a situation where ladies who are working are tired because it was not made for them. Now they're realizing, like, you know what? This is
Scam
not
of
working.
note.
Let's find a hybrid way of coexisting.
Thank
Hybrid
you.
people. That's good.